Today our topic is the mindset of the most successful people. The most successful people in the world, whether in business, sports, art, or any other field, share a common trait: their mindset. It's not just about talent or luck, though those can play a role. It's about how they think, how they approach challenges, and how they handle failure. The mindset of successful people is something we can all learn from, and if we apply these lessons to our own lives, we can achieve more than we ever thought possible. Let's break it down into key ideas that define their mindset: focus, discipline, resilience, adaptability, and a growth mindset. First, let's talk about focus. Successful people know what they want, and they don't let distractions pull them away from their goals. They have a clear vision of where they're going, and they keep their eyes on the prize. This doesn't mean they ignore everything else in life, but they prioritize what matters most. They understand that time is limited, and they use it wisely. For example, think about athletes like Michael Jordan or Serena Williams. They didn't become champions by accident. They practiced for hours every day, even when they didn't feel like it. They stayed focused on their goals, even when things got tough. Focus is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So, how can you improve your focus? Start by setting clear goals. Write them down and remind yourself of them every day. Break big goals into smaller, manageable steps. And most importantly, eliminate distractions. Turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and create a space where you can work without interruptions. Next, let's talk about discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Successful people don't rely on motivation alone because motivation comes and goes. Instead, they build habits and routines that keep them moving forward, even on days when they don't feel like it. Discipline means doing the work, even when it's boring or hard. It means saying no to things that don't align with your goals. For example, if your goal is to get in shape, discipline means going to the gym, even when you're tired, or eating healthy, even when you're craving junk food. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. To build discipline, start small. Focus on one habit at a time. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier or reading for 20 minutes a day. Once that habit becomes automatic, move on to the next one. Over time, these small changes add up to big results. Resilience is another key trait of successful people. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and failures. What matters is how you respond to them. Successful people don't let failure define them. They see it as a learning opportunity and keep pushing forward. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Think about Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't see those failures as the end. He saw them as steps closer to success. Resilience is about bouncing back, no matter how many times you fall. To build resilience, change your perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid, see it as a chance to grow. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I improve next time? Surround yourself with positive, supportive people who encourage you to keep going. And remember, every setback is temporary. Adaptability is also crucial. The world is constantly changing, and successful people know how to adapt. They don't cling to old ways of doing things just because they're comfortable. They're willing to try new approaches, learn new skills, and pivot when necessary. Think about companies like Netflix, which started as a DVD rental service and evolved into a streaming giant. They didn't resist change. They embraced it. Adaptability means being open to new ideas and willing to step out of your comfort zone. To become more adaptable, practice flexibility in your daily life. Try new things, even if they're outside your usual routine. Listen to different perspectives and be willing to change your mind. And when faced with challenges, look for creative solutions instead of giving up. Finally, let's talk about the growth mindset. This is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset don't see themselves as fixed or limited. They believe they can improve with time and practice. This mindset is powerful because it encourages continuous learning and growth. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good at math," someone with a growth mindset would say, "I'm not good at math yet, but I can get better if I practice." To develop a growth mindset, start by changing the way you talk to yourself. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I can't do this yet, but I'm working on it." Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and focus on the process rather than the outcome. Remember, success is not a destination. It's a journey. The mindset of the most successful people is not something they're born with. It's something they cultivate over time. By focusing on what matters, building discipline, embracing resilience, staying adaptable, and adopting a growth mindset, you can achieve your goals and create a life you're proud of. It won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. So, take these lessons to heart and start applying them to your own life. Remember, the only limit is the one you set for yourself.